The only reason why you aren't making money, only reason why you aren't seeing that growth that you want to see in your life is because you're constantly learning, constantly taking in information and not putting that information into practice. A lot of you guys think that you're a genius, right? A lot of you guys think that you have the mindset, that you have the knowledge, that you're wise. And let me tell you something, bro. You're not. You're not special, bro. Until you start taking action, start applying that information, you're a nobody. And to this day, you're going to stay a nobody. I'm sorry to say it this way, but knowledge is useless information unless you use it and you tie it with your personal experience because of action. A lot of you guys have this one issue, right? You want to learn this new skill, you want to learn this new business, you do it the wrong way. Instead of you going out there first and trying it out and then seeing how you can improve off your mistakes, you want to learn everything about it first and then take action. And I know for a lot of you guys that might be the logical way of doing things because the school programmed us to do that way. But when you learn how to ride a bike, you don't actually take a manual and start reading it. Oh, I'm gonna learn how to ride a bike. Actually go out there, grab a bike, you sit down on the bike and you ride the bike, and you're gonna fall, you're gonna make mistakes, you're probably gonna get a scratch here and there, but that's part of the process. And a lot of you guys are afraid of the process, so you keep taking in all this information, listening to the podcast, reading the books, taking in notes, thinking that you're moving forward when you're not. That sense of fulfillment, that sense of trust in yourself and confidence doesn't come from learning, doesn't come from you constantly procrastinating. It comes from you actually going out there and taking action. A lot of you guys have these dreams, right, of being a millionaire or just providing for your family, traveling the world, these luxurious lifestyle and the business and the money and the girls and what's not. The only reason why you aren't that person that you vision yourself to be is because your thoughts, your actions, and spirit aren't aligned. A lot of you guys suffer from depression, anxiety, stress, whatever other mental illness out there. It's probably because you're over consuming content on social media and not producing. You actually get to make that money that you want when you're producing and you're actually selling something to an audience. Business is all about selling. Business, success, wealth is all about giving, but you don't have anything to give, so you're broke. If you actually took the information that you received from these videos, from these podcasts, from these books, you would actually be somewhere in life. Bro, how many people have bought this book and has like millions of copies for 25 years straight, and people are still broke despite of them reading the book, despite of them taking in all the information? It's because they didn't do anything about it. They've been programmed, you've been programmed and thinking that you need to learn first and then apply. The only way that I started becoming the person that I wanted to be in life and started making money and started growing as a person was when I started taking that risk, when I started putting myself out there without knowing what I'm doing. A lot of you guys think that you need to have some type of credibility. You need to be an expert. You need to be a guru for you to actually get started, and you don't. When I started, I didn't have any screenshot, any testimonial, any friends helping me out, any support, nothing. I had people actually unfollowing me and hating me for actually making content that's actually supposed to help them out in life. And honestly speaking, bro, it's very sad to say this, but you're constantly afraid. You think that actually putting yourself out there is hard. Bro, people are getting bombed in Israel right now, and you're afraid of showing your face online to some goofies because they're just gonna comment on your video and hate on you? That's nothing. Some people are out here and they don't have a house, they don't have food to eat, and you're crying about you putting yourself out there, you're actually taking that risk. Some people wish they had the resources that you have today, but for some reason you keep wasting it. For some reason you keep procrastinating over it and taking notes and thinking that you're moving forward when you're not. The crazy thing about this is that your situation is equivalent to your habits. Your identity, who you are, your reality comes down to your habits, and you've made it a habit to constantly take information and not practice what you preach, not practice what you think. That's why your reality and your mind doesn't align, because your mind wants success, but your actions and your habits are of a lazy person. Habits are very simple. They're all about practice. They're all about putting in the reps. Okay, imagine being lazy as a box, and you're constantly putting in paper inside that lazy box. Eventually, that box, when you compare it to you, the productive you, the lazy box is going to be heavier. It's going to have much more reps in than that box of you being productive. You need to see yourself as that. You need to be like, okay, today I'm going to make X amount of decisions. I'm going to do X amount of actions. That's going to add in reps, put in papers inside the productivity box. And the moment that productivity box becomes heavier than the lazy one, that's when you start actually taking some action, moving forward and seeing some changes in your life. If you've read the book Atomic Habits, you probably understand the principle, the science behind neural pathways. Certain pathways in your brains are stronger because they just have much more connection because of reps that you take. And you have other pathways in your brains that aren't as strong because of the lack of connection, because of the lack of reps. You want the neural pathway in your brain for being productive, for making money, to be stupid heavy, bro. And once you start actually putting in those reps, taking those actions, that's when you start changing your mindset. A lot of people think that you need the mindset first before getting started. You need to put yourself out there first. You need to take action. You need to actually take that risk so you can, after that, start modifying your mindset, your principles, your values because of your experience. That's how you really get to learn. You really get to memorize something and see it have an impact in your life once there's an emotional connection to it. If there isn't any emotional connection, you are going to see that progress and that growth that you're looking for. One thing you guys probably didn't know is that by you scrolling on social media, you're indirectly agreeing with what you're seeing, right? Now, of course, the algorithm has different ways, and that's another different subject of how your algorithm works. But let's say, for example, you're somebody that is against abortion, right? And then the algorithm, for some reason, keeps pushing abortion posts, abortion feeds, reels to your feed. And you're constantly watching them, and you keep scrolling past, but the idea of abortion keeps popping up every single time. And without you noticing it, you start agreeing with the idea of abortion. The thing is with social media is that you're constantly scrolling, but you aren't stopping and pausing and be like, you know what? I disagree with this video because this is my principle and this is my value. No human being does that. You're just scrolling and you're constantly indirectly agreeing with that idea. Without you knowing, your subconscious mind is actually dragging that together. Your subconscious mind works this way. Whatever idea you accept is going to make it a reality. So if you accept and believe and know in the principle of wealth is giving, your subconscious mind is going to start reflecting that in your reality. You're going to start finding opportunities, things for you to give to people or for you to sell so you can actually obtain wealth, because in your mind, your subconscious mind has accepted the idea that wealth comes from giving. And you need to apply that to every single aspect of your life. So I highly recommend you read the book Power of Your Subconscious Mind so you can get a better idea of what I'm talking about. Another key aspect you need to understand to go from a consumer to a producer is understanding that past you needs you. Let me explain. The person that you are now isn't the same person you was a week ago. The person you was a week ago didn't have the same information, resources, and value that you have now because of the week of separation. You need to understand that there is an audience out there that is the past you. And now because you know more than the past you, you can become an authority without you having necessarily any credibility, any expertise, any crazy knowledge. All you have is information because you're a step ahead. And that's all you need to be. You just need to be a step ahead from the past you. If the you from before and the you now is the same person, bro, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. Something is wrong. I'm not gonna lie. So if you want to fix your problem, your issue of analysis paralysis, and actually go from a consumer or producer, from somebody that actually sells something, somebody that actually has value to give, somebody that has a skill that can solve a problem and can make money from it, you need to apply these 3 steps. Number 1 is understanding and acknowledging your situation. You need to have a clear idea and a clear understanding of how much content you're consuming and for how long. Until you don't do that first step where you understand, okay, I'm consuming this much because of this reason. I'm consuming this much for this long for this reason. Once you understand and you accept it, then you can move to step 2, where every single day you dedicate at least 30 minutes to creating, whether it be writing, whether it be journaling, whether it be recording a video, whether it be actually teaching something to someone. Start creating this neural pathway in your brain for creativity. Another crazy thing is that actually scientists have seen a decline in imagination in young people. And it's probably because young people with our generation is constantly bombarded with a bunch of information that they don't use. So they're constantly consuming, but they aren't producing anything because they spend so much of their time consuming. You need to dedicate time to being creative. I know this sounds crazy, but you need to dedicate time out of your day to actually producing something, whether it be writing, recording a video, putting something out there. Step number 3 is taking every single day, even if it's just 5 minutes, to increase your reps and add in a paper in your productivity box. If your goal is to become stronger, and you need to add in more reps and more activities and tasks to make you stronger. For example, if you want to lose weight, then you should spend more time at the gym than scrolling on TikTok. If you want to become richer, you need to spend more time on your business than spending time on TikTok. If your goal is to become wiser and smarter, you should spend more time reading books and teaching what you read to someone that's scrolling on TikTok. If you want to retain one thing from this video, is the following. God created you to create, gave you certain abilities, capacities, skills, talents, so you can offer it to the world and make a living from it. Success is all about giving. Success is all about solving a problem. And your skill, your ability should be able to solve a problem. And even if it's just you teaching people how to read a book, even if it's just you teaching people how to open a toothpaste, whatever it is, you need to do something about it. You need to go out there and produce.